UK's Perfect Fitness TV, and today I've got a calming stretch routine for you to help you ease the mind and improve flexibility. So you can either do this in the morning to help you ease into your day, but I particularly like to do this in the evening to help myself wind down from a busy day and help myself get ready for a restful sleep. So it helps me to clear my mind and just relax into my body. So join me on the mat. You don't need anything except yourself and a mat. If you don't have a mat, a carpeting is fine, just somewhere where you have some room. And let's just start with our feet about hip distance apart. And we're just going to start with some plies. And you're just going to reach your hands out to the side and back up. And again, plie. Inhale, reach those arms up to the ceiling and reach them back out to the side. So as you do, you just want to grow taller. Keep your feet planted into the floor. Press those heels down. And now this time, press your chest up to the ceiling. And we're just going to extend through the upper back. Let's do two more here. Big plie, stretch those arms out wide. Take them out again, one last time. And now from here, I want you to take those arms out and dive forward with a flat back. Lengthening through the backs of your legs. Holding it here, you can drop your head down. Just shake your head side to side. And maybe give it a little nod. Yes. And no. And just take your arms side to side as if you're a rag doll. Just let your upper body be heavy. If that feels tight to the backs of the legs, just soften your knees and ease into this. Good. Holding it here. See if you can walk your hands out along your mat. And we're just going to hold it here in a downward facing dog. Holding it here, bend one knee. And then the other, pedaling your heels to the floor. Lengthening out to the backs of the legs. Each time you press those heels down, you can feel your calves start to lengthen out. And let's just lift up on to the balls of both feet and then press both heels down. And lift and lower. And lift. As you lower, reach those shoulders to your hips and away from your ears. You want to find that long neck, long spine. Last one, and then just circle your ankles around. And then the other. Good, and then just any little movement through the hips, anything that just feels good. And holding it here, we're just going to ripple through the spine. Just articulate through each vertebrae. From here, I'm going to tuck my chin to my chest and ripple my upper back, middle back, and then look forward to release without sinking into the lower back, looking forward. Keeping those abs drawing in and up, pressing the hips back up to the ceiling. Downward facing dog, we're going to do this again. A little quicker this time, rippling upper back, middle back, and releasing forward. And again, pressing those hips back up to the ceiling, ripple upper back, middle back, lower back like a wave. Releasing one vertebrae at a time. See if you can make this really fluid through your body. And let's take one more here. And hold. Good, push it back up. Find that downward facing dog one last time. And soften your knees. Bring the feet together. Sit back into a shell stretch, child's pose. Reaching your hands forward. Just letting your hips drop to your heels. You might want to take your hands, palms up to the ceiling. And just take a few deep breaths here. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through pursed lips. See if you can focus on a lateral breath, expanding your rib cage side to side as you breathe in. And from here, we're going to stay in this position, but stretch one leg out to the side and hold it here. for a lovely inner thigh stretch. And to deepen your stretch, you can just walk your hands over to those toes. Holding it here, you have a lovely stretch through the inner thighs, hamstrings, and through your torso. Hold it here and breathe. And walk those hands back to center. Bring that foot back in and change the other side. Sit hips back to your heels. And then walk your hands over to your toes if you feel good. Take a few deep breaths here. Remember, one side might feel a little more loose than the other, and that's okay. This is good to calm your breath. Focus on each area that you're stretching. Feel like you can direct your breath into those inner thighs right now. Feel them release with each breath without forcing any stretches. Good, bring it back in. And from here, I'm gonna come up to a kneeling position. I'm just going to step 1 foot forward, so I'm gonna start with my left foot, and I'm just gonna drop my hips under and reach my hands up to the ceiling. This is a lovely hip flexor stretch, opening up through the chest. And from here, I'm going to send the hips back, lengthen the front leg, and reach those front toes up towards the ceiling. If you feel good, take your hands down to the mat. Try to keep a long spine here, and then whatever leg is extended, try to draw that hip back to really lengthen out the hamstrings. And from here, bring it back up. We're gonna come back to that hip flexor stretch, but I want you to just inch your foot out. We're gonna keep the heel on the mat, but turn your toes out. So you stay in the middle of the mat, just walking that foot out, then hinge forward into that stretch. So this is gonna open up through the hip, and then you're gonna come down to your forearms if you can. So take your hands down to the mat to start. You might wanna hold it here, and then if you feel good, bring your forearms down to the floor and just release through the hips. Taking a few deep breaths in here. Ease into your stretch. Then walk your hands back in. My right hand is going to stay on the mat. I'm going to take the same hand as me and press the knee out and twist into it. Feeling a little stretch through the glutes here as I press that knee out. I'm going to bring it back down. I'm going to bring one arm up to the ceiling. Big stretch in. And release, hand back down to the mat. And then my other hand, finding that rotation through the torso. Bring it back down. And now I'm just going to slide my back knee in and have a seat on my sit bones. And so from here, I'm just going to reach my right hand up and cross it over my top knee. And find that lovely twist through the torso. Releasing to my lower back. Just feeling like your spine is twisting like a spiral staircase. I want you to feel like you're growing taller as you hold this position. Don't sink into it. Grow taller and feel like you're walking up a spiral staircase through your spine. We're gonna come back to our kneeling position, this time with the other foot. So now I'm stepping my right foot forward and just dropping the hips forward here for the hip flexor stretch, releasing into the front of the thigh and hip flexors. When you're ready, reach those hands up to the ceiling, opening up through the chest. Press that front heel through the floor. Take a few deep breaths in. And And lengthen that front leg, send your hips backwards, reach those front toes up to the ceiling. Hands can stay on your hips, or you can bring those hands down to the floor if you can reach. And then I have my right toes forward, so I'm gonna pull my right hip back to really lengthen out through the hamstrings. Do your best to keep your back straight, try not to round through it. You really want to be able to pull your head back to feel that lovely release of the back of the leg. And from here, I'm just going to come back up into my hip flexor stretch. I'm just going to walk my foot out to the edge of the mat, keeping my heel on the mat and my toes off the mat, but my supporting knee stays where it is. So from here, ideally I want to come down to my forearms, but let's start with the hands. Just getting a lovely release into the hip. And if you feel good, come down to your forearms. Good, just take a few more deep breaths in here. You don't need to rush it at all. This is your time. Make sure you just focus on your stretch. Become in tune with your body. Notice how this feels in your body today. Notice how it feels in your body tomorrow. Let's keep one hand down on the mat and we're gonna twist. Well, actually, let's first press our knee away, opening up through the hip a little bit more and releasing into the glute before we twist. And then take that hand all the way up to the ceiling. That lovely torso twist. And bring the head back down. Let's see the other side. Bring the hand back down. I'm going to slide my back knee in. And take it into my twist here. My left hand will reach up as my right knee is bent, and I'm going to twist here. And do your best to keep both sit bones on the mat. I know that knee that's lifted sometimes likes to come off the mat, but do your best to keep that hip down. See if you can look behind you. Unwind. We're just going to come back to our kneeling position here, and you're going to slide one leg forward. Doesn't matter which one you want to start with, but just come into your pigeon stretch and come down to your forearms now. If you feel good here, feel free to just relax your head down to the mat and take your arms in front of you. Holding it here and breathing. Bringing it back in, hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the back toe, step back and step the other leg forward. Again, ideally, we do want to have the foot as in line with your knee as possible. I'm not the best demonstration of this because my glutes are a little tight and I'm tight through the hips. So ideally, we always want to aim for our foot there, but it's not really realistic unless you are a full-time yogi. So don't worry. If you're not there, I'm not there, but I can feel the stretch, and that's the important thing. So it's nice to have somewhere to aim, but I don't want you to overstretch. So always a stretch to about 80% without forcing anything. And if you feel good, bring those hands right out in front of you, rest your head down. Those hands back in. Step it back to your plank And drop the knees down, a little bit wider than they were, so you can send those hips back for your shell stretch. Just release the forehead down to the mat. Deep breath in. Coming forward onto your hands and knees, we're just going to take a lovely cat to cow stretch. So tucking the chin to chest, rounding through the spine, drawing those abs up and releasing those shoulder blades apart. Looking forward and small arch through the lower back as you look forward. And exhale, round the chin to the chest, scoop those abs up, shoulder blades draw apart. And then reach through into your cow. Press chest in forward, look forward. Just a small arch to the lower back there. And one more time here. And take it through to cow. Bring it back to neutral. And we're just going to flip ourselves around to lie down on the mat. Now from here, as you lie down, you can either keep your knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Let's take our palms up just to help you open up through your shoulders and chest a little bit. If you prefer just to completely relax those feet out, that's fine too. Just close your eyes, hold it here. Take a few deep breaths in. Calm your mind. Try to release any thoughts that keep popping into your head. Start to slow your breath down. If you find that your mind is getting busy again, focus on counting through your breath. Breathing in for 3, 2, 1. And exhaling out 3, 2, 1. And again. As you keep breathing, just let your feet be heavy. Make sure you're not gripping into your ankles, just relax. Notice if you're holding onto your legs or any tension through your hips, or hands or shoulders. Just give your body a little wiggle and see if you can let your body sink down into the mat just a little bit more. Relaxing your feet, relaxing your knees, releasing your hips, relaxing your tummy, releasing your hands, opening through the shoulders and the chest, relaxing through your jaw. Notice how open your body feels. Let's take one more deep breath in and out. And I want you to slowly bring those knees in towards your body. Give them a little hug. Give them a little rock side to side. And when you're ready, drop your knees over to one side and slowly open your eyes and come up to a seated position. And I hope you feel more ease through your mind and a little bit more flexible. And I wish you a wonderful rest of your day or evening, whatever time it might be for you, and I will see you next Monday for another amazing